never gonna guess what I'm talking about today. No. The time has come. The time has arrived for me to make a review video of The Fault in Our Stars, and I don't know whether I'm ready for it. I don't know. So I went to an advanced screening of this film, so I saw it on the 12th of June, which is almost a month ago now. I saw it before a lot of people in the UK saw this film, and it was incredibly exciting. Me, my friend Emma and Chelsea went to go and see this film, and we were given this massive poster of Ansel and Shailene as Hazel and Gus, and these amazing little fan screening lanyards. So it was pretty exciting to get stuff like this to commemorate the occasion, and I'm going to attempt to articulate my feelings about the film. I'm going to start off with the casting. I feel like the casting for this film could not have been better, because Shailene really became Hazel. Well, I say became, she really embodied sort of how I pictured her in the book, and Ansel was just the perfect Gus. I know he was worried, I watched a few interviews and he was worried about not being good enough, but if Ansel Elgort ever gets to watch this video, you did an ace job. It was incredible. Well done. Peter Van Houten, he was really well cast, and I hated him so much. I really hated him. I feel like the tone and the mood of the book was captured to the T. Just the way it was shot and how naturally everything was sort of placed and pictured. I loved that Hazel had the cannula in her nose for the entire thing. She didn't take it, well, she did take it out, but it was like, it was realistic. Not, I mean, I can't speak from experience. I'm thankful enough to not have had to see someone go through cancer, but I feel like it was more true to the actual life that people who have been diagnosed with cancer have. When I walked out the cinema, I was just thinking, this, like, if cancer can't stop people living their lives, like, cancer doesn't take away someone's life, it just makes it shorter, so they just have to deal with doing, like, living their life in a shorter space of time. And I feel like watching that film made me sort of walk out and go, I'm so lucky. I need to live my life and appreciate my life more than I do. A few things that I really liked about the film were the way that the text messages were done, and the way that Hazel would wait for her phone to ring, because that's something that's not always depicted in Hollywood movies, because, you know, you just, like, the guy automatically calls the girl and it's like, woo, whoop-de-doo, and they don't usually show any phone conversations. But in such an age where we are kind of constantly connected to our phones, and our phones are like attached to our hands, it's like an extension of our bodies, I feel like that was a great thing. And the sort of the feeling and the facial expressions of Hazel when she was sat at dinner, like, her phone kept buzzing at dinner, and she just, it's just a very true depiction, and I really loved how that was shown, because I've been through that, like, waiting for someone to text you and getting really excited when they do, and it's just such a big part of Gus and Hazel's relationship. So, you know, I thought that was really nicely done. The colouring of this film, I don't know why, just the way it was shot and the colours, and just, it was beautiful, but it was so raw and realistic, and I thought that really suited the tone of the film. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did cry. I sobbed at one point, and I thought that just showed, I don't know whether I was sobbing because it was sad or sobbing because I was so happy that they got it right. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't really tell. I think it was a bit of both, but I did definitely cry, and I looked like a complete mess. There were several things that were missed out of the film that were in the book, but I understand why they cut them, and it didn't bother me so much, apart from one thing that kind of really irritated me, but it has a spoiler, so I'm going to save it for the spoiler section. This bit with the little girl and the cannula when she asks what it is, and like if she could try it, and that wasn't in there, but because we went to this advanced screening, there was actually the scene with John Green in it. I'm kind of glad that the scene wasn't in the film, because I just kind of saw John Green. I didn't see a dad. I was just like, oh my god, it's John Green, like on a screen. Why is he on a screen? What? And I think that would have kind of taken away a little bit from the sort of meaning of the little girl asking about the cannula, because the little girl was great, but John Green was just John Green on the screen, and I couldn't get past that. The other thing about this film, the soundtrack is so freaking amazing. I can't even explain. It's so damn good. Even if you haven't seen the film and never want to watch it, buy the soundtrack, because the music is incredible, and I feel like the music just added so much to the film, and it just really intensified all the feels and all the emotions that were going on in here. Just everything that was, some of the songs I can't even listen to anymore because they just make me cry. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to get into a couple of spoilery sections. If you haven't read the book or seen the film, you might want to stop watching this here, because it probably will ruin sort of aspects of the plot for you. So if you haven't read the book or seen the film, please stop watching here. Thank you for watching, by the way, and have a lovely day, but go away. The bit that made me sob, it was the only bit in the book where I properly cried, but the rest of the book I was kind of internally crying constantly, but the one bit that I actually cried at was exactly the same in both the book and the film, and it's the scene in the literal heart of Jesus when Isaac is making his speech, and I can't deal with it. It's what he says and how he says it, and it just made me sob out loud. And I also feel like the part with Gus in the car when he's being sick and he's got an infected, I'm not entirely sure what it's called actually, but he's infected, his wound is infected, and he's being sick and he's crying because all he wanted to do is get a pack of cigarettes. That right there also made me sob, because it was just there's something about seeing boys cry that really makes me upset, and I don't know why, and I'm lost for words. And also, me and Chelsea, we were talking about where the songs were going to be in the film, and she said that Not About Angels by Birdie was going to be after the funeral. I thought it was going to be during, but she said it was going to be after the bit with Van Houten, and it was just so powerful. There was only one tiny thing that kind of irritated me, and it was the fact that they changed the last words of the book from I do to okay. And I understand why they did it, kind of, not really, but I mean, I know more people would understand the okay bit, but it was I do, and if you're gonna have it, just make it right. But apart from that, I still think okay worked quite well, but I would have preferred it to be I do. But apart from that, I loved it. I loved this film. I loved it. So I'm gonna stop there, because I feel like I've covered most of the things that I want to cover, and I don't want to be talking about this for a really long time, because nobody likes really long videos. Who likes 15-minute videos? Like, what? Who wants to sit through that? So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't read this book or seen this film, do it. Go for it. It's incredible. The book is incredible. The film was really well done, and I am so happy that they did it justice.